Well, hello and welcome to the channel. My name's Tel, and today this is an unusual video for me because it's nothing to do with general electronics that you find in a computer or a vintage computer or any game console, but this is what's happening with my car. So a few days ago I had my car, my Ford Focus Z-Tech 2010 it is, in for a service, and ever since it went in for the service, ever since then I've had these odd warning lights coming on the right hand side of the instrument panel. All the lights come on, oil light, skid light, all of the lights are on, and then after a while most of them drop off and you're left with the skid light, and then you turn it on, turn it back off, turn it off, turn it back on again. Sometimes it goes and then it comes back again and you just have one light, or sometimes you've got all of them on. So I'd booked it in to the garage for it to go back in, and I thought I really need to take a look at this because this just feels like it's a connection problem, given the fact that you can actually bang the lid at the top of the console and things change. So that alerted me to that, so I thought I would give it a go. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to take it out of the car and we can see if we can fix it. And I've taken out the instrumentation panel. So as folklore goes, apparently this connector here, which is all these sort of sensor wires and things that come into the instrument panel, which there are probably something in the order of about 40 or 50 or something pins in there, I don't know. The connections on the board, they say, are basically prone to failure. Apparently they have bad joints and stuff like that, which kind of works in terms of what my experience was, because I found that when I had all those lights on the dashboard, or the instrumentation panel I should say, over here I was getting engine light, oil light, skid light, you name it, it was on there, and banging it occasionally would turn everything off and then it would come back on again. So I knew that there was some sort of connection problem, or I thought there was some sort of connection problem. So I went and looked up on the internet how to get it out, which is fairly straightforward really. There's a soft cover which sits at the bottom in front of this instrument panel, which you can just lift off, glued in, but it gives you enough space to get in to take these two screws out from the fixing at the bottom, and they're Torx, they're small, well not little Torx, but they're smallish Torx. I used an extension with a flexible extension because it's quite a long way in through the steering wheel to get there, and that was enough to get these out. Unfortunately I dropped one of these out onto the steering column, whatever it is, this screw dropped in onto that, and I had to take the entire panel underneath it to get the screw back out. So that was fun, but I wanted to do that before I started on this because I didn't want to be thinking about that screw stuck in there. So I managed to get that out as well. So far so good. But these little tags here appear to be keeping this bit on, which is surrounding that. So I think that's what we want to do, is to bend these out, prise this off and see how that works. So here we go. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. I think if we just go round, they should all come off roughly. Well, that was going to be really difficult, but no, not really difficult, in fact quite easy. So there's a printed circuit board. These little things look as if they... Does that come off? Does that just come off? No, surely not. Yeah, because these are the gauges, these are the little coils. But I think we need to take this off. I think what we have to do is get this black thing off. I think that's the next thing to do, because we've got a big clip there and a big clip there. So that's probably what we need to do. It feels like it's nearly up. Aha! There we go. That one's in, I think. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick something else in there, and I'm going to go along here and try and do the same thing there. And maybe, if we're really lucky, we pray to Father Christmas, we'll be able to get this one off as well. Either that or I'll break the whole thing and it'll be knackered. Yeah, you can see this is not rehearsed at all. I have never ever seen this before. So, there we go. I think it's a symbiotic relationship between two screwdrivers, one to prise that black bit away from that one and the other one to prise that away. So we're getting there. Slowly, catchy monkey, as Gareth used to say from The Office. Was it softly, catchy monkey? I can't remember. Yeah, come on baby. And it's off. Right, so stage 2, remove the fascia plate, or whatever they call it. These things, to get them off, you have to twist them anti-clockwise And these things, to get them off, you have to twist them clockwise, which kind of makes sense because that's at the beginning of its travel. So you're going back the other way, and it's the same for that. So obviously these are all pointing to 0. So it should be twist and pull. Simple as that. And there it goes. So that's that gauge there. I guess these are exactly the same. But let's have a look. Are they? I think they are. And these ones are pointing towards 60. They just come off. Alright. So, so far so good. I don't know if we need to take this off. How that even comes off actually. If we even need to take it off. Do we need to take it off? I guess we do. So there's a couple of little tags down there and there. And this should pop off. That sounds like a Russian name, doesn't it? If there is such a name. Right, okay. That's our little display panel down there for diagnostics and stuff and other things, so I'll just give it a little clean while I'm here. Lest I forget. It's not a latter day word, is it? Lest I forget. Yeah, there's a little bit of dust around here on the edges, I guess, where the dirty air has got in there. So there should only be one more thing to do to get to the back of the board. What would that be? Is it just these clips around here, or is there something more sinister at foot? I think it's just the clips around the outside. So that's what I'm going to do, and this is very dirty actually. Alright, so if we just hook these up gently. I think I've got a technique issue here. I think I have. I need to get one end of this up, probably. One end at a time. You need to be the octopus these days to get these things off. Yeah, my technique is not very good here, I have to say. Well, I don't know what's stopping this coming out, but something is stopping it coming out, and I don't understand how much more I can do. They might just stuck basically on here. But this is really delicate, and I don't want to break it, but I've got no choice but to pursue it now. Don't quite know what to do really. Yeah, it feels like it's stuck. If I look under the board, I'm pulling it up, and the only place that it's stuck is near a couple of LED backlights. Maybe I should dab some isopropyl alcohol down these holes and see if it lifts off, because that's where it looks as if it's being stopped from coming up. So I've got to drop some isopropyl alcohol down there and just hope that I don't do it any damage. Otherwise we are in the proverbial doo-doo. I'm hoping that if it is that, so I'll just put some IPA down there and hope that it doesn't do any damage. Shouldn't do any damage. Oh, there we go. It worked. It worked. Isopropyl alcohol came to my aid. Be very careful you don't do anything with these gauges, because you know this is our main gauges. So I need to be really careful with that. Yeah, so I'm looking around here and I can definitely see some cracks. Bottom row, second from the left. You can see cracks around the pin. This microscope goes in and out of focus. But you can clearly see the crack. As we come along here, we'll have a look for some more. The ones in the centre don't look too bad actually. Yeah, they look alright. But there, definitely, both of the ones on the right, the upper and lower, are both cracked all the way around the pins. So I'm actually pointing to it now. So this has been done on our voiceover because I haven't got any way to record simultaneously the video. And that one there as well, that's cracked from the left hand side, you can see. They look okay. They look okay. They look okay. That one's gone as well. Yeah, so that one's gone. So there's about at least three pens that have got a crack on them. Yeah, so I think the next thing we need to do is to solder this up. So just going to apply a little bit of solder there. Probably just go down all of them actually, it'll be easier. Unfortunately the microscope isn't exactly in camera. So the next few seconds I'm going to actually basically be splitting it with isopropyl alcohol and then inspecting it, cleaning it and touching it up. So this goes on for several seconds. I've run out of additional flux at the moment, so I've got no flux specifically to put on there except for what's in the solder. So there's a few blobs to touch up with the soldering iron tip, and then we'll be good shortly. Right, so I just want to do a final inspection and a bit of a touch up here and there. And once I've done that, then we're going to go back and reassemble it. As you saw in that little clip on the microscope, there were several of the pins that were cracked, the joints were cracked. What you need to do now is to get this baby back in. Actually, before I do anything, I need to probably try and clean. This just snaps back in now. I'm just wondering if I should actually spray some deoxit in that terminal. Okay, so I'll just lift that up to you. I'll offer this up to you so that you can see it. You see the 4 metal bits coming out there. They need to be twisted to the side. So that is the instrument display is locked in. So it just needs to be twisted slightly. There you go. That one's in the right place. That one's in the right place. That one's in the wrong place. Put it in the wrong place. Okay. So that's back in place. Now we need to put this back in place. This is just going to be pressed down. This goes in these little things there, and this just lays over the surface. I don't think there's anything else in there to. Oh yeah, there is actually. It does lock in. Right. Okay. So that's locked in, locked and loaded. It's locked and loaded. So what we need to do is put our gauges back in. And set them to where they need to be. So we need to start from there, just push it in there. I need to go back around again. Let's go round again. If you get this wrong, then you'll be at the wrong miles per hour. Just move it a little bit. No, too far. Right, okay, that's about bang on now. Okay, and our little gauges which go the other way. So start here. Not quite so important as the speedo. Speedo's the most important one on there to be right. And then we'll push this back to there. Okay, so it's in line. That's in line. That's in line. That's just perfect. Perfect. So we now need to get this back on. So I'm going to give it a little clean. Okay, it doesn't need cleaning on the inside. That's quite clean. So very gently, and this should just snap into place, I hope. And it has just snapped into place, and that's done diddly undone. So I'm hoping that this will go back in now without any problem, and I haven't completely screwed things up, but I guess we will find out. Put it back in the car last night, so I thought I'll wait until the morning. So it's the morning after. We've got 289 miles. So what I'm going to do is take it for a long drive this morning, and we'll see how it fares. It's ticking over at the moment. You'll see in a still, but this is ticking over at the moment, and this is ticking over just under 1,000 RPM. Temperature and fuel is normal. So let's see. So this is now done 74,315 miles. Can't remember what the first reading was. Yeah, not a thing out of place. All the gauges seem to be fine. Everything seems to be good. So I think I'll count that as a big success. So the price of one of these cluster panels, instrument panel, whatever you want to call it, is around about £900 new. So I think this is a massive win, really, when you think that all I had to do was to remove it from the car and then resolder some connections. plus there would have been sort of money spent on that being removed and the new one being fitted, which would have been about £180. So this has cost me just time, and there wasn't really anything to do but just remake connections. That was it. So I'm quite pleased about that. Right, so if you've enjoyed the video and found it useful, then please give me a like and hopefully subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. And with that being said, I will see you next time.
I miss that sexy smile.